Yeah, so it used to idle at 110 decibels.
God damn.
Yeah, so I was kindly asked to never bring it back to the building.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Off the Record. You know how Off the Record works. I've been talking about it for literally years. Basically, you don't plead guilty if you get a ticket. You just don't. That's what suckers do. I'm just going to pay it and it'll go away. You know why? It doesn't go away. It catches up with your insurance, potentially your employment. There's all kinds of things you didn't think about, side problems with having points on your license, and that's where Off the Record comes in. If you get pulled over, if you get a ticket, send that ticket to offtherecord.com/TST or code TSTPOD on the Off the Record app, and that'll get you 10% off all legal services through Off the Record. Off the Record will connect you to a qualified attorney in the jurisdiction where you got that ticket. They'll fight that ticket on your behalf. That could mean negotiating with the prosecutor. That could mean actually going to court. And in a huge percentage of the cases, they get those points off your record. In fact, if they don't, you don't pay. Go to offtherecord.com/TST or download the Off the Record app and use code TSTPOD, and you'll have that lawyer in your back pocket ready to go to work for you and keep those points off your record.
Oh, well, hey, great way to start out, man. Thanks for having me.
Cheers. L'chaim, welcome.
Welcome. Nice
Definitely made some noise on the way in the fucking cammed out red vet.
Yeah, I hope I didn't upset any of your neighbors, but
That is not the loudest car they've heard so far.
Nice.
Here. Yeah, we've got a couple like hot rods.
do you mind me asking, what is the loudest vehicle that is pulled into this facility?
Oh, that's interesting. What's the loudest vehicle that's we have a straight pipe Aventador. That when they start it, it shakes the whole building. We built an earthquake-proof building, and that car fucking shakes it. Yeah.
There's just something about a V12 cold start that, likes to hover at, 3,000 RPMs?
Yeah. There's a frequency to it. Mm-hmm. And you get that real resonance
The microphones really pick it up when we're doing a show. Like, oh, shit.
When I first pulled up, I was really early. Because I drove my car here, coming from Long Beach, I'm like, you never know how terrible traffic just randomly gets.
Listen, it's L.A. Early's on time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I pulled up and I was like, crap, there's no parking spots out front. I pulled around back and I was like idling and I turned it off. I was like, oh shit, maybe they're doing another podcast.
Oh yeah. How thoughtful of you.
Well, I have ruined a couple things at Hoonigan over the years from loud vehicles just pulling in, or you'd be trying to record something and you'd be right on the ragged edge of it, like, okay, we're finally getting it, and then somebody pulls in, rips a burnout outside.
Yeah.
Or inside.
In high school, my girlfriend I was dating in high school went to the Catholic school up the road from my school, and we'd get out at 2:50 and they'd get out at 3:10. And every day I'd pick her up after school in my fucking cammed out Mustang. And I'd be out front, and I'd be sitting out front just shopping, just and their high school was like a real old building, no AC, so they'd have all the windows open. God, did they fucking hate me over there?
I'm just
hated me.
I'm imagining you in a leather jacket with a torn up White Snake shirt underneath.
Oh, dude.
Just smoking cigarettes on the hood.
You have the wrong era, but think 9 Inch Nails, not White Snake. But other than that, cigarettes, check.
I guess, I
combat boots, check.
For some reason, I think of the 80s as not that long ago. And
really
I forget that, the fucking 90s are now 30 years ago.
Yeah, this would have been 1997, 98. Yeah. So it was 9 Inch Nails, little Marilyn Manson. It was that.
Still a good era in actual guitar music.
Oh yeah,
real
musicians
music
played.
Still existed.
It still does. I don't want to be one of those fucking they don't have real music anymore. I've seen some really good music recently.
That is it's wildly unfair to say. So
what do you listen to?
Everything.
Okay.
I mean, so I'm a student of music. That's my one thing.
Really?
That and motorcycles have just been a part of my life since I was as long as I can remember.
Uh-huh.
And so for instance, this morning I was listening to some weird shit like Afro beat jazz.
Okay,
you know
that's
what I mean?
fun.
Like some Fela Kuti.
That's fun music. I put that shit on when I work out a lot.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Well, I was actually at the gym.
Is that
I was
where
like,
you're at the gym?
what?
All right, well, there you go.
And it's not like
we're aligned on this.
Yeah, man. I don't typically listen to that at the gym or something, but like I just like usually some days I just kind of wake up and I like feel a certain vibe, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I love almost all music except for strategically engineered pop music that's meant to sell.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why they do it. You know, record labels got to make money, but
Yeah. Have you ever listened to a song where if you go, I could never be a big musician because if I wrote that, I would throw it in the garbage instead of calling my label and going, I've got the hit.
yes, yes.
We were talking about Kid Rock yesterday, rhyming the word things with things, trying different things and smoking funny things. And I go, if I wrote that lyric, I would go, this is straight trash. I'm not going to tell anybody I just wrote that down.
You know, but it works
Isn't that crazy?
in a weird sense, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Like, so I think the mark of a good person. I don't know. This maybe my brain isn't working good enough to explain what I'm thinking, but I think the mark of like a well-rounded person is that you can appreciate different styles of music because you know music is one of these things that it's meant for, whether it's different situations, like different emotions, different. You know, there's a rainbow of different flavors.
Yeah.
But you know they only work in. You know, they can work in certain different things, but you can't just like isolate yourself to one lane.
This year in 2024, I've been to 3 or 4 concerts that are not where I would necessarily have gone or sought out to see these bands.
Really?
I went to U2 at the Sphere. I saw Coldplay at fucking the Rose Bowl.
Okay.
I saw Ed Sheeran. And all of these were someone just invited me.
Yeah.
Come see this. And I was like, well, all right, got nothing to do and whatever. And in each case, I was impressed. Mm-hmm. And in each case, there was tens of thousands of people there having a good time.
Yeah.
And I post about it on Instagram just saying, hey, I wouldn't have thought I was impressed by this, but I was impressed by this. The number of people who were like, that's fucking lame, dude. These fucking people suck. And it's like, imagine someone selling out SoFi Stadium 2 nights in a row for someone on Instagram to be like, well, that guy sucks. It's like, this dude just stood up in front of 85,000 people with an acoustic guitar and crushed.
Solo.
Yeah.
That's gotta be
crazy.
so much scarier when you don't have, at least if you got your band behind you, you're like, all right, guys, we're fucking going.
Right.
You
We're all
know,
gonna
like-
keep this going together. Yeah.
Dude, just one ginger and a fucking tiny little Gibson and a set of looping pedals.
That's gotta
in
be-
the round.
It's got, oh, really?
Yeah.
360 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay, that's even.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
You know-
so intense.
So were these? I think that's like a powerful thing because like how a person plays music live, right? Or like if you can change somebody's concept of your music by your live performance, I think that's like the mark of a great artist.
Sure.
Right. Oddly enough, so I had one of those happen to me like 3 years ago, and strangely enough, it was Kid Rock.
Really?
Okay, so check this out. Like, you know, I was born in 85, right? So by the time I'm in like middle school, early high school, obviously Kid Rock has hit his meteoric rise, right? You couldn't get away from like, with the body, you know, like, and so it was kind of like, it felt cheesy to me, right? And it just like, I wanted to just hate it. So I did. Like, you know, for a long time, I was like, man, fuck Kid Rock, right? Then I went to Sturgis. And I
Kid
went
Rock at Sturgis, I suppose, is the context you need.
Yeah, but so I was going to, went to the stage with a bunch of people, didn't know who was playing that night, right? Because I'd went there because I wanted to see, oddly enough, ZZ Top one more time before somebody died. And Dusty Hill died like the week before that, right? So it was a massive bummer. But
Do they still perform without him?
he did, yeah. Like, so they, I guess like a guitar tech was filling in for him.
Oh, wow.
Right? It's kind of sad. Like, it was sad to like, like a heartfelt.
Sure. But ZZ Top at Sturgis, also the context you need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, but so that ZZ Top is supposed to be performing Saturday night, something like that, and then we're there Friday night, and so we're seeing a bunch of bands play, whatever, and but we got there kind of early, right? And by the time Kid Rock's like coming on, I'm like, oh, fucking Kid Rock, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get out of here. Well, we were there like with our motorcycles. And then I turn around and there's like 250,000 people behind us.
Yeah.
We're like, fuck, we're not getting out of this. I was like, all right, I'll stay for the show. But Kid Rock goes on to perform arguably the most perfect musical performance as far as like a stage show, show flow, sonically, like that I've ever seen.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it was really fucking good. And I just sat there the whole time, like, just observing it. Because, like, I love performing in front of people, right? I love being on a microphone. I think it's a cool feeling, but, like, to watch the show flow and how, like, it's like, and then to have its, like, crescendo, and then just, like, it blew everything out of the water. And I was like, fuck, he's actually really fucking good. And he went and played every single instrument on the stage at one point, right? Like, played drums well, played guitar damn well, played the bass, played the fucking DJ, played the piano. And it was like, okay.
Yeah,
like,
I think the guy's a talented musician. I think he's kind of a dickbag, that's an interesting. I've never heard anybody refer to a Kid Rock performance the way you just have. But like, okay,
it was a perfect stage show. And
maybe he needed the Sturgis vibe. Maybe he needed.
I think it was apparently his first show back from like COVID. Like,
really?
Nothing. Yeah. And because like obviously like, nothing was going on.
Sure.
This is Sturgis 2021, I think.
I was going to say it was probably 2020. They're probably just like, fuck this. They probably went for it anyway.
I'm pretty sure they had a Sturgis in 2021.
I think they did. Yeah, I think they did.
But I was just remembering, like, it was like, fuck, this is really good. And it was
those first concerts after COVID. The first concert I went to after COVID was Pearl Jam, and I was like, they hadn't, because Pearl Jam in particular released a fucking album. The album Gigaton came out the last week of February in 2020. Oh. And they had a whole tour planned, and they had to cancel the whole tour. And then they didn't tour for 2 years, and they'd been sitting on these songs, couldn't play them, and so those first shows back were a big deal.
I wonder how much of an effect that has as like a group, right? Like, you got to the shows are there to promote the album, right? And like the album, I'm sure that now the way contracts are made, that they're taking in live event performances, but say like most bands have like, or a lot of new bands have 360 deals where they're in their pockets on everything, whether it's merchandise, like live events.
If you're a smaller band, that is where the record label gets most of the album and then you get most of the live, that COVID fucked some shit up for some of those people. I mean, Pearl Jam, Kid Rock, they could ride that out. Yeah. It's a bummer, but they could ride it out. Some smaller band probably got fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine. I mean, a lot of people got fucked. A lot of businesses. Most of a lot of cool restaurants in LA.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have to tell you guys.
Yeah.
But if you live here, you saw it.
We were there. Yeah.
That Kid Rock show was 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, it was all on.
We opened this business in September 2020, which was a real good time. Fortunately, it's worked out okay.
I was going to say, it doesn't seem like it's doing too bad.
It's fine. But we opened it like 6 months because it took us, once we finished the building, it took us 6 months to get a certificate of occupancy. If we had opened it in February instead of September, I could have got a PPP loan. Because we opened in September, we were ineligible for, and not that I necessarily would have taken it, but we became ineligible because it was just after, even though we were like standing by to open. So yeah.
Well, it's a bummer.
But here we are.
You could have just done a PPP scam. Like
I could have run a scam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like so many other people I know.
Big miss there, bud.
Turns out this system had a few holes in it.
Yeah. I'm curious that how many people did that and suffered some consequences from it.
Not a lot.
Really?
Not a lot. I mean, some definitely did. I mean, you read stories about people that get busted, recently for having, buying all kinds of Lambos and all kinds of shit. But I think the percentage is pretty low.
Really?
And they have the resources to audit all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't. Anyway.
Well, it just goes to show, kids, don't flex that hard on embezzled money.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what's really crazy is that the amount of people that ran the scam and then flashed the wealth. It's like, have you not seen Goodfellas? You don't buy anything. Don't buy anything expensive. Like, what are you doing?
Just pull up in a new Cadillac?
It's in my mother's name.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Man.
There's a lot of life lessons in Goodfellas.
There is. I mean, a lot can be learned. Yeah. So let me ask you this. You opened a new facility too, right?
Yeah.
You got a second one?
Yeah.
Where's that at?
It's in Gardena.
Okay.
It's going good.
Nice.
We've been on a fucking tear the last month. We got like 12 spaces left. It's been crazy down there.
That's insane.
Yeah. We'll take good care of you if you run out of space. But you have a shop now.
I have a small shop.
Yeah.
Yes.
You and fucking Vin, everyone's getting a shop.
Yeah, it's like, look, here's the thing. We all have a terrible problem with owning more cars than we have space for.
Mm-hmm.
It's Los Angeles, so it's like, I live in a condo, so I have it pretty bad.
Yeah.
I was able to rent another spot in my parking garage, which was cool. The unfortunate part about that is I was parking my K5 there, which it's got a 572 cubic inch big block with no cats,
They love that down there.
It wasn't so much. The noise was one thing, but the exhaust fumes. There's so much and you can the exhaust is so powerful in that so much air moves through it, right? And it just on its warm up cycle, it's at 160% of its fueling, right?
Yeah.
So. Just to keep it on. And basically exhaust fumes were going into the people in the first floor's units.
Oh, my God.
And luckily, I got a neighbor that's really cool, but he's like, yo, dude, every time you start that, it fills our place. So I felt terrible for it. And
that's dangerous.
I talked to the building manager, and she was like, hey, you can just park it in the we had another garage that's for guests. So I'm like, cool, I'll do that. I don't want to be that fucking guy, though, right? If people keep seeing my car
now
there,
everyone's going to think you're the guy parking in the guest spot.
Well, unfortunately, started parking it there, and then if I ever took it out in the morning to go to the gym or something, well,
now everyone hears it.
The person that lives above it was the director or president of our HOA. So it was like, who the fuck is this person? Firing up their monster truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was kindly asked to never bring it back to the building. But I recently put 2 Valvetronic mufflers on it in tandem with a big MagnaFlow.
Okay, so you have a quiet mode-ish mode.
It's still, it seems way quieter to me.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't sound like you're firing up a fuel car, right?
Yeah.
But it's still pretty fucking loud.
I'm sure it is, but if you're in a parking garage or something, then it echoes and whatever. Yeah. But I bet if you metered it, it probably would be substantially quieter.
Yeah, so it used to idle at 110 decibels.
God damn.
Yeah.
Imagine getting kicked out of Laguna for idling.
Yeah, that is above all of their limits.
Now, here's a question. Sidebar. Can you get kicked out of Laguna with a car that's too loud but isn't a race car? Guys, we got to take a quick break from the show for AutoTempest. They're supporting us today. And when you're looking for a car, it's smart to cast a wide net and check as many places as possible. For instance, in this episode, in this week, we're going to show you some Cybertrucks for sale. We'll show you on AutoTempest, which pulls all of the listings from all of the different sites together into one place. You don't want to look at cars.com, TrueCar, eBay Motors, Carvana, and more by typing in the same exact search terms in every single site. No, you go to autotempest.com/tire and they will bring it all together into one place and include results from Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist nationwide. AutoTempest now has apps for iOS and Android, so you can use the website or have AutoTempest right on your home screen. Saves you time, and time is money. That's why AutoTempest has all the cars with one search. Head over to autotempest.com/tire so they knew we sent you. That's autotempest.com/tire and start searching for your next car. Like if you brought that thing to Laguna to tow your race car and you set off the sound meter with you, will they kick you out?
I think they still, they definitely still care.
They definitely care, but
especially if they detected it from that tower.
Yeah,
they're like,
point
wait,
of
we're picking this
parliamentary
up
procedure.
from half a mile away.
But I will say this though, I have driven that through there without any problems, and I drove my old C10, which had like a NASCAR boom tube on it, and like 2 little tiny MagnaFlow race cans that are
don't do shit.
Well, they did a little something. They cut the rasp down by like 15%.
Yeah,
enough to be like,
I'm trying over here.
Yeah. But I never got fucked with in those. But I know that like Vinny, I have a ton of friends that anybody that has something nice, if you have a Porsche, if you have a Lamborghini or a Ferrari that's loud, right? Like they all seem to just get clamped like instantly.
Yeah. Well, you know what gets by? Corvettes. cops fucking love Corvettes. You could do anything you want to a Corvette, but a cop is like, hey, what was that? What kind of cam? Is that an Edelbrock cam? I'm thinking about getting one of those. Like when I had a Corvette, I could fucking do anything. The cops didn't give a fuck. I was like one of them.
Well, we measured your C5. It was 135 decibels at like wide open throttle.
Yeah, it was really loud.
On the car show. That was insane.
135, bro? At wide open throttle?
Amateur hour.
Man, we need to get those numbers up.
It actually might have been quieter than your Corvette, but at the time, this would have been like 2015. That was a pretty loud car.
Yeah, it's okay. 135 decibels is fucking loud.
It was
pretty sure
really
like
loud.
It's problematic. Like you have actual hearing loss of like 180 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So
it was pretty loud.
Yeah, 135.
So you've got the shop now.
Yes.
And you're learning about concrete, cinder block, all these things that now we're gentlemen in our 40s. We're starting to become important.
Exactly. You know, it's some dudes do the barbecue route, which I love grilling and stuff, but you know the it's weird because I come from a family like our whole family does HVAC.
Okay.
Right? HVAC. And it was always something my dad was like, you don't want to do this, you know? And I was like, yeah. And then now as I'm like building the shop out, I'm like, this is actually really fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy I like it. I like doing mechanical stuff.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to Scotto yesterday on the phone, and he goes, you know what's crazy? He goes, he actually said this verbatim. He goes, if you want to drive a Ferrari F40, get into automotive media. Sooner or later, one will be available for you to drive. If you want to buy a Ferrari F40, do something that nobody wants to do, like HVAC. It's like start an HVAC company. Sooner or later, you'll be able to buy an F40.
Yeah, it's wild, man. And you know, so it's funny because so I just did the floors in my shop, right? The guys
make them all like sparkly and shit.
No, I didn't do sparkly. So Scotto and I went and did a signing at World of Concrete for Kubota, right? Brought the Hoonicorn out.
That's a hell of a sentence.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It was like, you know, Kubota had been a phenomenal client of mine through all the, you know, got him set up with Ken, then Hoonigan, you know, and I always try to take care of him and stuff.
What did they use Kubota for at Hoonigan?
So doing dumb shit. Have you seen? You know how fun it is to do wheelies and nose wheelies on a skid steer?
Oh yeah, and skid steer stuff.
But
right,
also building out like things like the track at this versus that off road.
Oh right, okay,
you know. But originally it started at Anchor Acres, right? Like we needed something to take care of all of the courses. And, pardon me. All the grounds there because it's like 110 acres, right?
Yeah.
And you know, when you have like world-class racetracks at your house, like they require quite a bit of maintenance, right?
Sure.
Especially in like crazy conditions like you get in Utah where it's, you know, hammering 4 feet of snow a night. So yeah, that's how it started. And then, you know, it parlayed into, you know, some other stuff through Hoonigan, and, you know, we wanted to like expand their reach, and, you know, just they were so cool to work with because they're always like, we're like, hey, so we got this idea. We're going to Australia. Can we get like a huge piece of equipment that we could like chain a burnout car to and just kind of like tow it while it's ripping burnouts? They're like, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, like
anything to make people think that we do something cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that. They're just like, they support cool stuff. Like they get it. Right?
Well, it's just I that's good. I'm just like I'm kind of surprised, but also not surprised if there's like one young person at Kubota. You know, it's not like a sexy company. They make tractors and shit.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, do something sexy with an otherwise somewhat unsexy piece of equipment.
Think about this, right? Like if you're gonna build like jumps, okay, as a kid, right? What do? You go out. Well, us. Because we grew up without cell phones and stuff. But like, you know, you go out and build a jump with your bike, right? Same thing, you know, you're growing up, you build motocross jumps or whatever it might be, or you want to like, you know, go jump a minivan over some stuff with your dumb friends, right? You know, like you got to build the jump. It's like, that's the equipment. You need big stuff to build big jumps and like fun shit like that. And, you know, it's one of those things where it's like every person that was like a supercross bro or like, you know, into kind of extreme sports eventually had like a house that was a farm and then needed equipment.
Yeah.
So it really translated well, and it was cool. And then plus when we were doing the like our SEMA shows, right? So like last year I had Jake, he goes by Black Sheep Skid on Instagram, but he does stunts on skid steers.
That rules.
And dude, you know, I was like, hey, I told Kubota, I was like, I want to have this dude out, and can we like get some skid steers that will like livery, and can I have him do stunts in between, like when we're doing cleanup, and you know, that way it's like something's going on. Yeah, something's going on while we're like having the downtime, and you know, people can stay entertained, because like the worst feeling when you're out in front of a big ass crowd is like, okay, nothing's going on, and you know, like Corey's really good at just talking, like, hey, you know, like keeping people entertained, but I'll eventually kind of like run out of steam because I go real high and, you know, then have like little crashes in between the show, and, you know. So, but
skid steer stunts sounds awesome.
If you look up, there's a...
Oh, there we go.
His Instagram wouldn't load, but I mean, this is him doing like a nose manual across
Dude, so
a metal
he builds
ramp.
this, he has this like, it's like a trailer, and it like unfolds, and he builds it out, and it's like, it's 3 stories, and he'll like nose...
It's like a jungle gym for a skid steer.
Yeah, it's wildly sketchy.
Of course it is. Does he wear like a fucking helmet?
Yeah, he wears a helmet in there, you know.
Oh, there he is. Okay, he's
Like-
wearing a helmet. Here's his trailer being hauled out.
Yeah. So then, let's see.
I mean, talk about an unexpected career path.
You can do anything, kids.
Well-
you truly
If you
can.
are good enough at something, it doesn't matter how dumb that thing is. If you're the fucking best at it.
Yo, it's so entertaining live. But the cool thing is, like, so he teaches people to do this so he learned how to start doing it. A, because it was fun, but B,
it's really fun.
he found that he was like, because he actually does, you know, operate equipment, right?
Yeah.
Well, he found that he doesn't destroy lawns. If he can get it up on 2 wheels and rotate it, he's not like, just like digging ruts in people's grass. So like, he mastered the art of like the nose wheelie and operating the bucket, so he wouldn't fuck up all of the work that he needed
That's
to do.
really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's actually a use for it. And so he teaches classes on how to do all that stuff too.
wow.
And it's a pretty cool angle.
It's funny, this fucking lunatic has a trade school.
Yeah. Great dude, super nice, and like just
Imagine
always
going to the IRS and they're like, this is not a write-off. Like this is your hobby. He's like, I swear to God, we use this technique to do work on lawns.
Yeah.
And they're like, demonstrate.
I guarantee you the first time this dude ever drove a Bobcat, he fucking stole it. He definitely, like, because I did. You ever drive a stolen Bobcat?
Yeah, I
They
actually
leave the keys in these things. What are they doing?
back when they didn't have codes.
Yeah.
I definitely went to
In the 90s, it was just like one of those keys that like opened a vending machine, like one of them little cylinder joints.
or like a Harley key from the 90s, which also opens vending machines sometimes.
My Fox body fucking there was only like 12 or 13 different keys that would open all Fox body Mustangs. It was like so crazy. The science of keys and how bullshit it is pretty funny. Pre-Mercedes laser cut ones.
Yeah, it is pretty wild. Fuck, where were we? We had a situation where I grabbed the wrong set of keys and was able to like start this car, and I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck? And I was like looking at the keys, I was like, this isn't the right. It was like, this is somebody's like keychain, like with their keys on it, and like I was like, holy shit! It was the same kind of car, but it it was Brian Scotto's Audi, his Audi wagon.
Yeah,
and because I needed to move it, and there was like. We had 2
like
key
his
boxes.
like RS2 or one of those. Yeah, same shit, dude.
Yeah,
Audi made like no cars in the early 90s. I guarantee you, there's maybe 10 or 15 different keys that would start all Audis.
Yeah,
it's
so
crazy.
I basically hit him up. He's like, "Hey, the keys are in this one," and I was like, "Hey, dude, just so you know, this other set of Audi keys just started your car, and it's definitely not yours." So, if you want to steal one of Brian Scotto's cars, do him a favor.
Use any Audi key.
The easiest thing to steal by far is a boat. A boat over 50 feet will not have a key. You can just press a button and start it. It's crazy. Then the reason for that is like there's almost nowhere you can take a boat that big where you won't be caught. You have to come back to shore like eventually, and most of them have satellite trackers and stuff on them for like real time.
Yeah.
But like it's very, very easy to steal a boat.
Yeah, but you could have a sick time for that couple hours.
You could. And that's also my apocalypse plan. You know, people like are talking about like, oh, I need this van or I need this dirt bike. Bro, I'm walking to the marina. I am untying a fucking boat, putting up the sails, and I am out.
That's actually a pretty good plan.
It's a great plan.
I've thought about that too. I was like, what if you're on like if there's gonna be like some shit show going on land? It's like on the water, you might be able to.
Yeah.
That's Waterworld.
Yeah, dude, Waterworld. I've seen Waterworld. If you got a boat in Waterworld, you're pretty good to go.
Fair enough.
It's paper.
Fishing
Have you
pole,
ever seen
that's it.
paper?
One thing though, it's like if the world was ending and you could steal a boat, I'd much rather do like a really sick offshore race boat kind of,
Dude,
Well, you're going to go out. You're going to go
get
out
your
once.
tank of gas in 2 hours
I
in one
know,
of those things.
but you run it
Sailboat,
out.
I can get to Tahiti.
Yeah, but we're just trying to end it quick and
Yeah, Zach's trying to celebrate the end of it, and you're trying to stay alive.
Oh yeah,
That's
he's going
the
to take
difference.
that boat for an hour and a half, and when that needle hits E, he's driving into the Santa Monica Pier.
Right.
precisely.
Yeah.
See, you get it.
There was a listing.
How far can I jump this onto land?
There was a listing that just came up on like one of these like aggregator sites. It's like cool man stuff or whatever, and it's like the record holder. It's like a cigarette or a fountain boat from like the 80s, like 86, 87, and it's triple yellow. Yellow on yellow on yellow, and it was the record holder New York to Miami in like 28 hours on the water.
Nice.
And I was like, this guy's moving units.
Yeah, it set that record on the night before New Year's Eve.
Yeah, they had a need down in Miami.
How the fuck do you refuel that? Because if you know anything, I mean, look, boats, right?
Yeah.
If you know anything about 80s offshore high performance boats, I talked to a couple friends. I mean, I started getting into boats recently.
Please.
Can't afford the kind of boats that I like,
No,
of course.
best boat is someone else's.
Yeah.
Or if you steal one.
But there's this crew of dudes out in Chesapeake Bay that have a bunch of. They've been restoring these old Apaches, right? And so
The story of Apache Marina is batshit
phenomenal.
Look it up.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Vehicle Magazine is something very interesting. You should take a look at.
Vehicle magazine.
VEHVEU. There's a U in there. It's Yeah.
It's like ridicule, but with vehicle.
Yeah,
okay.
basically. But
so Apaches. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they were saying one of the ones they have is it's just two blown big blocks, right? Real like solid roller set. I mean, just like runs on 110, 116 octane, and does 100 gallons a side an hour.
Yeah.
Think about if you're putting C16.
Yeah.
It's what, almost $20 a gallon now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. You got to be
Wow.
so rich to run one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you just going out and just what?
Yeah.
Oh, there's $20,000. All
Yeah.
right.
Fortunately, like in a modern boat, you can run pump gas. They don't need to do that anymore. I mean, it's still the consumption is kind of the same. Close enough
For
that
stern drive stuff. Yeah.
Sure, yeah, but it's still
you're making
like
way more power.
yeah, but and you're still burning 70 gallons an hour instead of 100 gallons an hour or whatever.
Like 20% is 30% is 30%.
We're
Sorry.
very economical.
Yes.
Yeah. Folks, we got to take one more break from the show for DeleteMe. I love DeleteMe because your privacy online is probably not as private as you think. Have you ever been scammed or someone that you know has been scammed or the victim of identity theft or harassed, annoyed by robocalls? God, I get robocalls all the time. Privacy matters, right? And there's only so much you can do without DeleteMe, but because we're easy targets. We put ourselves on the internet. We buy stuff, we shop, we sign up for things, and then those sites, they sell your data through data brokers. That's why DeleteMe is here. Your name, contact info, social security number, home address, and et cetera, are all being compiled by these data brokers and sold online, and people can buy it. It can lead to identity theft, phishing attempts, harassment, and spam calls, but you can protect your privacy with DeleteMe. It's great. They will basically scour the internet, and they will find and remove any personal information that you don't want online and make sure it stays off. DeleteMe is a subscription service that removes your personal info from the largest people search database on the web, and in the process helps prevent potential ID theft, doxing, and phishing scams. Just sign up and provide DeleteMe with exactly the information you want deleted, and their experts take it from there. DeleteMe will then send you regular personalized privacy reports showing what info they found, where they found it, and what they removed. DeleteMe is not just a one-time service. DeleteMe is always working for you, constantly monitoring and removing the personal information you don't want on the internet. To put it simply, DeleteMe does all the hard work of wiping you and your family's personal info off the web. Data brokers hate DeleteMe. So when you sign up, DeleteMe immediately goes to work scrubbing all your personal information from data broker platforms. Your personal profile is no longer theirs to sell. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for DeleteMe. Now, that a special discount for listeners. You can get 20% off your DeleteMe plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/tire and use promo code TIRE at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/tire and enter code TIRE at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/tire. Use code TIRE. Now, back to the program.
I recently did a bunch of stuff with Mercury Racing and, went up to their factory in Fond du Lac, which was awesome. Got to see, how the sauce was made, which was actually, I had no idea. Even their outboards have, Inconel valves and shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild.
Yeah,
right?
marine engine, because they got to hold up to salt and they run high. They got to be set up for high revs all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, a car you'd never run most car engines at 5,500 RPM for 3 hours.
Yeah.
But a boat engine, you got to be able to do that.
So I got to watch while they were doing.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, so we went.
Those the V12s?
No, those are just the 500Rs, which are supercharged 4.6 liter V8s.
Cool.
It's pretty cool. It's got a 64-degree bank angle, real tiny, and
Yeah.
the packaging is insane. And the blower kind of sits on basically where the oil pan would normally sit on. If you're looking.
Oh, it's on the other side.
Yeah.
It's on opposite the heads.
Yes.
Oh, that's funky.
And then the heads have a hot V kind of scenario, right? Keeps the packaging nice and
cool.
tight.
Yeah.
There's
outboards
there's
are
one right there.
Outboards are crazy, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, that's me yelling. But it gets into it. So one of the things that they were saying was they took every single dual overhead cam cylinder head for a V8 that they could find that was, mass production, laser scanned everything, and basically broke it down and was how do we make this perfect? And the heads that come on just those outboards outflow any V8 dual overhead cam cylinder head that's ever been produced.
Can you post retrofit them back onto a car, or would you want to?
I don't think you can because the block design, everything's it's all unique to Mercury Racing, right? But I can fit 4 fingers into the ports this way, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's they're big, and then the QC4, which is their big 9-liter dual overhead cam, twin turbo Big Daddy motors.
Yeah, that's an inboard motor.
Those are stern drives, right?
Yeah.
And those are the ones that are low end making 1,000, 1,200, 1,300, and then they have they have it set up where it's you can do let's say if you have a 1550, 1750 setup where it's 1750 on race gas, and I think it's warranted up to I forgot how many hours, right?
Yeah.
But I watched them dyno one there, and he's oh yeah, it's cool. They just had a test motor on, and there's cool. Just threw it to redline and just sat there. He's so anyway, blah. I was so you just, he's yeah, that's how we dyno it. So you just park it at 6,800 RPM and just let it eat.
Oh wow! Look at that!
So-
Look at that design. That's gorgeous, huh?
Yeah, man. So the wild thing they were saying is, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'm going to on Patreon.
Yeah.
So I was so how much can you squeeze out of these things? And they're well, I mean, I'm no, seriously. And so I guess the most, they wouldn't super divulge into, because I'm if you're building engines, you want to know the limit, right? Well, they were look, so we know that we can do 1,750 horsepower and 2,200 foot-pounds for, I think it was the time it takes to get to Key West and back twice. It was 9 hours or something like that.
Twice.
Yeah, and then they were so we just.
What is the function of that?
Well, because there's a there's a big P1 race.
There's a race,
or poker runs and stuff, and then so they were we wanted to know, and so it's we figured double that time, and so then after that we just tore it down to see, and at that point it was starting we saw a little bit of stretch in the mains, the main bolts, but that was it. But they were if you're going to be running it more, it's if it's stretching at all, it's it's.
But if you were to dial it back by 10, 15%, it would probably be fine for 4 or 5 times that length of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about that, 2,200 foot-pounds for, and that's that long. That's on the, I forgot what the rating. The dyno ratings that all manufacturers have to abide by, where they come and check it.
Yeah.
There's a name for it. It's is it SAE or something?
It's SAE. I think it's SAE.
Okay. Well, whatever that is,
Yeah.
that is on that dyno, that everything documented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how they measure it because, in a car it's done by acceleration, right? But on a boat, is it still done by the acceleration, or is it because you said it's like sustained? So I wonder if it's
They do
wonder
well.
how
They
that works.
when they do testing, they're doing like sustained,
Like
and then then they're doing
yeah.
like on-off load stuff. It's pretty cool.
Boats are fun, man. It's just too bad they're so goddamn expensive. But they're
If you just had a few $1 billion sitting around that you could just fuck.
the fucking B is for Bill dude seems to get it done for pretty cheap. I respect that.
Okay.
Yeah. My
Wait, is
dad's
he doing
got a
boats
boat
now?
he does some boat shit. He's building a pontoon boat right now that's supposed to go like real fast.
Like a tri-tune?
I think so, and it's got like he's gonna put some huge motor on it and make it go really fast. But I drove a really fast tri-tune. It was shady.
Really?
I did 57 miles an hour on a tri-tune in Lake Lanier in Atlanta, Georgia. It had twin 300s on it, which is a lot on a pontoon boat.
It's funny you're saying that because I was supposed to go and do a thing for Mercury on a tri-tune with twin 500s on it. And they're like, yeah, it'll do 100 miles an hour. And I was like, sick. And they're like, yeah, it's in Florida. I was trying to line it up with our first Burnout Wars event, and I was going to jump because it was in Orlando.
Yeah.
So I was going to try to jump from there, and I was like, I got this great idea. I'm going to take my mom lives in Florida now, and my mom's a psychopath. But like she's like looks like a nice old lady now, and I was like, yeah, I'll bring my mom.
100 miles an hour on a fucking tri-tune.
Yeah, and just like try to scare the shit out of my mom.
You would.
I hope.
Dude, I was really scared doing almost 60 on one.
What's the
It's-
fastest you've gone in a boat, Zach?
128.
That's real
That's what
fast.
we did. That's what we did at that.
At Mercury?
Yeah, well, in that. So it was a DCB M37R. That was just like the outboard ones. They're like, this is our, like, those boats are great because
That's like a cat. Yeah.
they require barely any maintenance.
Yeah.
You know, and then you just like turnkey, just go.
Yeah,
really
it's just
quiet.
hull and outboards.
Yeah.
Really.
And they're like, most of our customers have, one of our 6 stern drive setups, and then they usually get one of these because, like, you could take your wife, your girlfriend, or whoever out, and they're not going to be pissed off at, like, the noise or, like,
Modern outboards are pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that those CNC props are, like, 15 Gs. Damn.
Yeah, you don't want to bottom out on one of those.
Oh my God.
They don't take a lot of draft, those boats, so you have to fuck up pretty bad to bottom one out, but like still, you don't want to.
No.
28 miles
Yeah.
per hour.
It
that's
just seems like
wild.
an expensive endeavor to
Over 100 on a boat. I mean, on a boat like that, we're looking at a very high performance catamaran. It's like, it's pretty wild stuff.
It was so tame though. It
Yeah.
was so composed and chill
Yeah.
that at one point Vinny was like, I was filming it and he came up and he's like, wait, what the? He was sitting behind me, and he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He's like, dude, I thought we were doing like 40 because he couldn't see the
Especially
you know,
if it's calm water, then you really have no frame of reference.
Lake Havasu, glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did 75 in Miami with John Tamarian.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the fastest I've gone by double, and it felt very fast because you're so exposed to the wind and you're just watching the water go.
You're also in an ocean, you
Yeah.
know? So you got like jumps built into
Yeah.
that. It's a little
Built-in
sketchy.
jumps. You don't need Kubota, unfortunately.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, those cats are real cool though.
Yeah, man. It's quite a feat of engineering. They were
Really is.
we did a whole like breakdown on like the hull design. I have so much more footage of that, but it was just like I want to put that out, but I feel like people watch like an hour-long episode of me nerding out on like, you know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
They might. You might be surprised.
Huh.
But the hull designs there's a lot more to it than it looks like at first glance. There's a subtlety to it.
No, it's like the angle of that that channel has, and then like there's like little step dealy. I don't know all of it, but like I'd have to go back and like rewatch everything Tony was explaining to me. Tony from DCB.
Yeah.
But when you're like, yo, this is like full blown aerodynamics design.
You know, if you really want to appreciate hull design, get out there in a 1983 Donzi and try and go fast. You will shit your pants at how unstable and sketchy it is.
I've been 90 in a really shitty riverboat that had a stolen NASCAR motor in it. That was my uncle's, and that was
Did it have one of
terrifying.
those gas pedals that look like a foot?
Yeah, dude. First of all, this is Missouri, okay, in like the early '90s. So yeah.
You ever see them guys in fucking Thailand and Vietnam that have the fucking
Yes,
boats that have like a Supra motor with like an 8-foot
Attached to a door.
With like 110 mil turbo, like just right behind him. Yeah, dude. Somebody sent me something recently, and it was like Okay, so imagine that, but on like a piece of plywood. I'm talking like barely, but I think I sent it to you.
Yeah. I flipped.
It's insane.
It's very, very sketchy.
Not just like, flip, but it's like, here comes that prop too.
Yeah.
So you get sliced also while you're
when we were in
drowned.
Thailand, there were people that had like the car motor mounted on like a tourist boat. And
they were all
ass.
they were all like Buick 3.8s.
Yeah, and
they were
had
using
it on
a lot.
on like a large lever to direct it. And then the videos we've watched are those super shallow draw. I mean, it's basically like a long surfboard, but the same car engine.
Yeah.
And they just go top speed down those channels, and it looks so nuts.
By the way, the Buick 3.8 or was it a 3.8 or what was the GM V6 that came in like everything?
3800.
Yeah,
it was a 3800, right?
Yeah.
I've had multiple friends in high school that drove the living shit out of those, attempting to blow them up for like basically
Pretty
the
much
entirety of
unkillable.
Yeah. Like my friend Ryan had an old Buick and like he just would run it without an air filter, just not clutch dumping, neutral dropping it like left and right, just always on the limiter, just driving and it had like 300,000+ miles because his dad had it before him and he would drive 2 hours a day to work and like 2 hours one way.
Damn.
Yeah.
They were pretty garbage to use, but they were garbage forever.
Yeah, exactly.
It was unkillable garbage.
I mean,
now those motors are in Thailand powering fucking tourist boats.
900,000 miles later, they've made it across the world.
It's the Mercedes 300D of V6s.
It's R2J.
It's got several different lifetimes ahead of it. Yeah.
I love that, man.
Wait, can I circle back because we fucking took a wild tangent? Can we talk real quick? The audience is going to hate this about the Concrete Expo.
Oh yeah.
I was actually invited to this, and I don't know anyone who's gone, but I really want to hear
Dude,
about it.
Concrete Expo was sick.
Really?
Yeah, me and Scotto were like, yo, this is way cooler than SEMA. Because, dude, there was like a speed bricklaying competition, right? Like,
Whoa.
It was cool because like I've never been through that through the Las Vegas Convention Center when it wasn't SEMA or wasn't like a car related thing, right? So to see it laid out differently was pretty sick. But then, now being like kind of like, I need these tools and you're kind of like nerding out on all the new shit that's coming out. And like then they had like a lot of really cool interactive setup stuff where you could learn about all this stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Where it was like you could see how the nuts and bolts work, but you could actually do it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So that's
they're not letting you mount the semi-truck tire at SEMA. They're doing that and you watch.
Yeah, exactly. So it was actually really cool, and obviously everybody at Kubota was rad. And it was funny because it was so much more loose than SEMA. Like at one point, some lady that came up for like the autograph signing was like, "Oh, you guys seem thirsty," and I joked, and I was like, "Oh, if you get an ice cold, crispy Coors Light, I would really appreciate that." And then she like vanished, right? And then like came back with a whole grip of beers. Just like, I could only get this many at a time, and then like went off, and then and I was like, where are you getting these?
It's probably different because like no one's trying to resell their passes for the concrete show. It's not like that's SEMA has become a thing that like regular folks just want to. Yeah. Not that people who work in the industry aren't regular folks, but it was an industry trade show that's now a mainstream spectacle. Yeah. So it's got to be treated a little differently. Same with CES. Same shit.
I've never been to CES.
It's interesting. I went once. There's some cool stuff, and there's a whole bunch of stuff where you just look at it and you go, why do you think the fucking world needs this? It's just some really, really stupid shit.
So we're talking like sex robot stuff right now.
That's cool stuff.
Yeah, that was there. That was definitely there.
Oh, really?
And like butler type devices. I remember a thing that like washed, dried, and then folded your laundry all at once. That was like designed for your house. And it was like $100,000. And I was like,
okay, never mind. Let's not look this up.
Yeah.
Right now. But the endless roll of laundry, it never seems to be finished.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things as an adult. I'm like,
you either love laundry or you absolutely hate it.
I don't like hate it, but I don't love it. I'm just like, fuck, I wish somebody was here to do this.
Same with dishes. Just like every day. Whatever, how many meals a day.
Listen, all it takes is money, and someone can be there to do it. It's not even that much money.
That, kids.
It's honestly a pretty small amount of money considering the freedom it buys you.
Financial advice.
Financial advice. Yeah, I'm just saying. What's your time worth?
It's actually a really good point.
Could it be spent doing something more productive than laundry?
Well, you can do the delivery fold thing. Like they pick up the bag, they bring it back folded. That's the
old fluff and fold?
Right, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, it's funny though. Like, we'll get back to the concrete in a second here, folks. But I will say,
don't worry, suspense building of the concrete.
You know, more recently in the last, since I moved back to LA, one of the things I was like, I want to like have somebody at least comes through and cleans my place at least once every 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And I do. And what it does for me mentally is so much more valuable than the cost of it, right? To just be able to come home and be like, oh, fuck, this is nice.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I didn't have to.
Tuesday's a great day because I come home to a clean house.
Yeah, and you don't have to like, you know, it's just, I feel like it's good for creativity. It's good for, you know, it's just like all the space is cleared, you know? As long as you don't have like a bunch of shit stacked everywhere, you know? But like, it's worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
100%. Weekly housekeeper, absolutely worthwhile.
Yeah.
Assuming it's not a stretch to do it and you can do it, worthwhile. Absolutely. Big place, small place, doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
That level of clean that I just don't have the energy to do myself, absolutely.
I love that this is a mostly car-based
Don't
podcast.
Give a fuck.
We haven't talked about cars. This is
Couldn't
nice.
give less of a fuck. They don't pay me enough to talk about things I don't feel like fucking talking about. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. Wait, you mean you? Because this is you're in this year thing, so.
Oh, I pay me. Yeah. No, the royal.
The royal.
Yeah. All right, fine. We can talk about cars.
No, we don't need to talk about it. I just thought it was a beautiful thing, you know.
I mean, listen. We talked boats, V8s. We talked about supercharged V8s.
The cool thing about car culture is it brings people from all sorts of walks of life
Very true.
together,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, oh, we bond over this one thing, but did you know? Well, we all have other similar interests too.
Yeah, no, there's watches. I see you have a very nice watch.
Thank you.
I'm a fan of that one. I have the same one in a different color. What other weird? Do you collect other weird things?
Only scalps, but no. I don't really collect things necessarily. Yeah, I don't.
Do you go? When do you decide it's like? Do you have a limit? Are you limited by space for cars or like?
Yeah, and I kind of like it now.
When is it time to get rid of something?
So the thing is, like, the car thing. It started when I moved to Utah to work directly under Ken. Right. You know, I bought a house. You know, because Utah, you can do that kind of thing. And, you know, I had a 3-car garage and then, like, some land. And then I noticed that, like, I started acquiring cars. Like, I bought, like, a old Survivor boogie van at one point, you know, that, like, my neighbors, you know, like, real creepy looking.
Like Scooby-Doo van?
No, like, imagine A-Team van, but, like, in yellow with that, chain link.
Like
hard
rolling
steering
heavy.
wheel.
Oh, yeah, rolling
Side
heavy,
pipes,
yeah. Okay.
you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it did have the A-Team, like, kit on it. But,
Shag?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But the interior was like definitely had been torn out and then somebody put like carpet in it, you know, and then like a big sub box that was like also like a bed deck, you know.
Did it have a chain steering wheel?
Yeah, it had a chain link Heart steering wheel.
Heart steering wheel?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, I drove it from Los Angeles all the way to Park City, right? And worst gas mileage of a vehicle I've ever experienced.
Like
worse than the K5?
Four on the highway, just cruising.
Because you're driving a Sail that has like 80 horsepower.
That's really bad.
There's probably a 305 in it. Right?
Yeah.
But it was struggling. As soon as you started getting into altitude, man, it was like it barely wanted to get up that hill through Provo Canyon. It was like, please, just kill me. Just kill me and leave me on the side of the road.
Oh,
but
that's bad.
But yeah, it was actually really sweet to like drive around. It felt cool. But then it also kind of felt creepy at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
well, there's people who feel comfortable in that creepiness.
Yes, exactly.
Like the Rolling Heavy magazine crowd, it's like they embrace that.
I mean,
that
look,
creep vibe.
I love boogie vans, man. I've always wanted one, but anyway, so it became this thing where I was like, I had all this space, and I noticed I started like acquiring more things, and I don't like. There's like a weight to that. Mm-hmm.
I have learned.
Yeah.
I have learned. Yeah.
So. Yeah, when I moved back to Los Angeles, I was like, I'm going to get a way smaller place, and I'm gonna, basically it limits me from doing stupid things that I like to do, right? Like, you know, having multiple spare engines and stuff, which now that I have a shop, I definitely have a spare engine sitting around, and like, you know, I got, you know, 3 vehicles, which I think, you know, I don't really need. I sold off 2. Recently, and then sold off some motorcycles too. So now I'm down to like 2 motorcycles, which is good. You know,
more than 2 motorcycles is hard to ride.
Well, it's hard to just ride 2. You know, like, and I like to use the things, right? Like you can't just let them sit and rot. You know,
How many did you have when you had at the most?
like 4. You know, which
Do you have what type of motorcycle do you like?
now that I'm older, I do prefer Harleys.
Okay.
Right, but you know, when I was younger, I used to exclusively ride leader bikes. You know, got hit.
Congrats on surviving that.
Thanks, man. This comes in handy. But it was I got hit in 2013 and got fucked up pretty good from the very standard, typical somebody making a panic left turn at the last minute and not looking, and
I just got chills from you just saying that.
Yeah, it's the most common motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
You know, but so yeah, that's when I was like, maybe I'll just like dial it back, And from that point on, I did chopper stuff for a while, which I love. I still love choppers. I would definitely build another one. I just haven't had a ton of time to do that. And that's an undertaking.
I rode a chopper. They're hard to ride.
It's
right?
No, it's great because it's real sketchy and especially if it's no rear suspension, if you got a Springer front end and no front brake, right? You don't need a lot of power because you're I could die. Especially if you got a foot clutch,
Yeah, no.
Because then you're just I don't know. You don't.
Oh, I guess if you don't have a front brake, then you have use the lever for a rear brake, and then you have a foot clutch.
The foot brake on the right.
Okay.
Foot clutch on the left, and then it's a hand lever to shift.
Oh,
which
God.
You're basically, depending on the length of your shifter, you could throw that finger in the chain.
There's 4 bad decisions.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's engagement. That's what we're looking for from cars.
Right.
Yeah, it's
that sounds a lot like the car from 1902 that we drove a couple weeks ago.
Right? It's like this. If you're driving, the same reason I like my K5, where it's violently overpowered for what it is, right? And luckily now it'll stop a little better because I have some 6-piston calipers up front. I still have drums in the rear because I got to redo a lot more stuff. But it's sketchy. It's floppy. It shouldn't have 700 foot-pounds on tap at all times.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Not really set up for that.
No, but it's great. It's fun.
Yeah. You did not sell me on wanting to ride a chopper, though, right there. I think I'm
It'd
still...
be fun for a day.
It's a particular...
Yeah.
It's like a rat rod motorcycle, right?
Yeah.
It's a little dangerous, but that's why it's fun.
Yeah.
Everything feels fast if you know you can't stop. Doesn't matter how many horsepower you have.
That's a very good point. And that steering geometry is really weird, right?
Yeah, but it's the longer the front end is, the cozier that ride is,
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a Maybach.
Exactly.
Just
Wheelbase,
wheelbase.
baby.
Yeah, with no suspension travel at all.
Exactly. Well, if you got a Springer in the front, it's a nice bouncy, and then when you try to take turns, it does this, kind of hops around, like on ramps and stuff. Yeah.
I like riding motorcycles, but the motorcycles I like to ride aren't cool. I like to ride sort of sport touring bikes where I can sit up like this because it's just more comfortable.
Explain what kind of sport touring you're talking.
I mean, I have that Honda CX500 Turbo downstairs, which is really, really neat. It's in the lobby.
CX500 Turbo.
Yeah, turbocharged motorcycle, but it only makes 85 horsepower.
Oh.
But it's real cool. I mean, it's got an 80s turbo power band on it. It's a turbo 500cc V-twin.
Okay.
Really funky.
So 500 RPM worth of power band.
Yeah, that's it. So it makes
It looks so fucking weird.
It is weird, right? It makes 82 horsepower at 8,000 RPM.
Yeah, those
so
wheels,
the turbo comes on at about 6. So it's got nothing, zing! It's pretty neat.
Okay.
And modern bikes that look like that.
Okay, you like the obscure. You're one of those guys.
Well, I like weird shit.
Yeah.
But I also want to be comfortable when I ride. I got a bad back and bad knees. So the upright riding, I like a BMW GS, stuff like that. That's not cool and stylish, but I get to ride motorcycles without being paid.
Extremely functional.
Super functional.
Extremely functional motorcycles.
Yeah,
GSs.
yeah.
Yep.
Totally.
Totally. I get it. I get it. It's like a big ass dirt bike, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Basically, dirt bikes are fun too. Love a dirt bike.
Oh yeah.
Zach has a shitty dirt bike downstairs that I ride once in a while. Nice. Probably need to ride again soon.
You know what you need is an old, clapped out 80s 2-stroke, a big one. Something that is real sketchy. Yeah, something that you just got to keep it up in the rev band.
I had a Honda Monkey that I rode around for a minute.
What's a Monkey?
The little bike. It's like a Grom. It's like the Grom but with chrome on it.
I see.
Yeah, which I look stupid as hell
Donkey
on one
Kong
of those.
on it?
Yeah, I look so insane, but that was the fun. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, looks like that.
What the? Those
It's
are
small.
current.
Yeah, it was brand new.
Okay.
Yeah, mine was a 2020.
I will be damned.
Yeah.
I am not up to date with the smaller
Once
Like
the
so.
Grom got super popular, they were like, well, what if we do one that's Grom underpinnings but looks like the mini trail from like the 70s?
What if we did Cafe Racer-esque?
Yeah.
I see. Oh, yeah, it does look like an old.
Yeah.
My very first motorcycle, my uncle built it for me. He got out of prison, and he was like living with my grandma. Right?
Great start to a story.
And I guess this is a motorcycle that he had built for his son like years earlier, and it had been sitting and just rotting in a shed in my grandpa's, like, back behind the house. And so it was an old Honda XC70 or XL75. So it was like all steel, kind of like dirt bike, but I think half meant for the road. But he did a sick flame paint job on it and stitched like this. He
Like
was,
they took the Harley ethos and put it on this Honda.
I mean,
Yeah.
because everybody in my mom's side of the family, like my grandpa, all my uncles, like they were all into like hot rodding and shit, and like awesome painters, everything metal flake, right? So boats, bikes, cars, whatever, right? And so yeah, that was my first bike. But I remember it was so funny because it never fixed the kickstart because it was like stripped out.
Yeah.
And so it was like had to change the trans out, like the whole like cases, I guess, right? So it would work, but I would have to push start this thing and like roll it up a hill, being like a 70-pound kid maybe.
That's hilarious.
Right? And this bike was way more than me. And like it was like Conan, as a kid pushing the wheel of pain. And it'd be like 30 tries and then finally it would start,
Oh, what a pain in the ass.
Oh, but it was so fun.
But then once
it
you get
did.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not impressing the ladies being like, oh, hang on, let me just push this thing up a hill. I'll be right back.
I mean, I was like 6, 7.
okay.
So,
All right. Yeah,
not
not impressing.
not really looking to impress ladies.
Right.
I believe girls were gross at that point.
I think I missed the scale of the age of that story.
Oh,
before.
my
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. 6.
No, my uncle
sure.
didn't get out of prison and build me like when I was in high school. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, cool.
When I was
So,
like
yeah.
10, we visited some like distant family friend, and they had an old like Honda dirt bike sitting in the garage. And this is when I was every day like asking my parents if I could get a dirt bike. Told no because my dad's a doctor. I was sending in those 3x5 cards to all the magazines, like to try to win, the KX70 or whatever. Nice. And
like your dad would let you keep it if
you
that
need
shit
one?
just showed
I
up.
asked them today. I still ask them. I go, did I win one of those? And you just threw that shit away? And they're like,
Giving you a non-answer.
But we got this like rusty bike running, and I rode it for like an hour and a half straight, having the most fun. I was riding it through fields of stinging nettles because that was like the route on their property, completely ignoring what was happening to my legs because I was wearing shorts. So at the end of the day, it was like absolutely shredded and swollen, but I had the best time, the absolute best time.
What happened to the bike?
I mean, we never went and visited them again. It was just like they put it back in there. It was like a thing they'd had for 30 years.
Yeah.
They found a spark plug. They got it in there. Like they did it because I wouldn't shut up about saying, "Can we please start it? Can we please ride it?" And they're like, "Fine."
Yeah.
And then that was that.
When I was like 10, my uncle Dick had a Pooch moped. Is it pronounced Putch? P-U-C-H.
Don't ask me, bro.
Yeah. It's P-U-C-H. Like it was like a moped that had like pedals on it that you started with.
Oh
the
yeah,
pedal.
those were fun.
It looked kind of like a Honda Super Cub. Like it was like a 50 or something. Yeah, Putch. Yeah, that.
Oh,
one of those.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I rolled up there, and my uncle said I could ride it when I was like 10. And I rolled up with like a cut-off fucking vest.
Of course.
Like thinking I was like a Hell's Angel.
You were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was ready to fucking rock.
Just bad to the motherfucking bone.
Dude, I
yeah.
get it.
My older cousin, his son, wrecked it drunk.
I rode one of these to school in high school. When
Really?
I used to take classes at UCSC, and you could park something like that for $1. And I borrowed it from my friend, and my parents were like, "That makes sense economically." So I just pedal and then go to class.
It's actually kind of all right, that thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Now I ride a Vespa.
Hell yeah. So anyway, concrete.
I love Vespa. I'm extremely pro Vespa. And if your uncle wants to paint flames on it, I'm about that life.
They're all dead.
Sorry.
It's all right.
My Vespa's green. Actually, it's like bright fucking like viper green. And the other day, I saw for the very first time, I've had this thing for 4 years, another viper green one. And we did a little wave thing, but I have never seen another one that color until just recently.
You and Corey from Con Media.
Oh, Corey Burns. Oh, he just got into Vespas.
Oh yeah.
He got one as like
Singing
a
its
demo,
praises.
and he would not shut up about how awesome it is. Like, see, now you know. And he was on a 150. Mine's a 300.
Oh,
Mine's
got that
fast.
spicy bitch.
Mine's a
I see. I see.
spicy. Yes.
And for people that don't know Corey, he rides leader bikes.
Yeah, Corey
rides like Aprilias
track
and
riding.
shit.
Yes,
like, he's been
Corey
riding
is
for
a
decades.
phenomenal motorcycle rider and very fast.
Yeah, but he respects the Vespa life.
he can-
and,
yeah.
and how can you not? Let's go to the Patreon. I'm sure we have a bunch for you. If you want to ask questions of our guests, patreon.com/the Smoking Tire Podcast is where to do it. And catch the live stream, get the show early, get an ad-free listening experience, the whole deal at patreon.com/the Smoking Tire Podcast. Let's see what we've got today. James says, as you were flying through the air in the Miata, what was going through your mind?
Mostly a wild cocktail of alcohol and amphetamines. No,
Back me up. I'm not familiar with this particular jump of a Miata.
my very first episode at Hoonigan as a
here we go.
as a a true member of Hoonigan, we made the joke. It was like Zach gets jumped in, right? And so it was like, oh, this is going to be like your first is like a real on-screen host, not just like, kind of ancillary, because I'd been working there for like a little bit at the time. And so we had just got this Miata for like $200. We had cut the roof off of it, or cut the windshield off of it. It was like running like shit. And the guys are going to run it over with this ferret, the little tank thing, the six-wheeled that King Shocks just like gave us because they needed to get it off their books or whatever.
Yeah.
And or no, Toyo. Sorry, Toyo tires, not King. So I was like, wait, before we crush it, can I hit the jumps? Like we had the
ramps.
metal ramps.
Yeah.
So they're like, yes. So anyway, so we were like, all right, let's make an episode out of this. And so that was going to be like that was my very first episode as
the slideshow that Zach just put up is fucking gnarly.
Yeah, that was the third jump. So I did it 3 times, and you can see actually if you play through. The reason I posted this because wait for the next one, because one more, and look how deep.
The part where the back end lands and your body just crushes into
Your
it.
neck slumps over to the left and like almost hits the door.
Yikes.
Yeah, when
sill.
you're jumping a Miata on some cheap coilovers with zero damage.
Well, and you fully
landing.
cleared the landing ramp and flat. I mean, if you can call that a flat land, it's a nose land and then a rear smash.
Yeah, if you notice, the actual rear tub of the car gets slammed into the ground too.
Whoever placed the ramps there did some really bad math.
Well, we originally set them back to back, and we were like, oh, dude, we could just hit it fat, and then they spread them out, and they're like, spread it some more, and
Yeah.
And then I overcooked it. But it needed to be done,
Was your fucking spine done?
Yeah, it's definitely not good. I'd broken my neck before in Mexico being an idiot, and this definitely didn't help.
Oh,
there's another one we did with do you remember Shit Car?
Yes,
Okay.
I do remember Shit Car.
Eventually, we had beaten Shit Car up so bad that it got to the point where we're like, hey, we needed something new to do with it, so we turned it into an off-road vehicle, and it's on its debut test drive, I basically pull it out of the garage. We had the ramps set up and I hit the ramps, and it just broke the front suspension off, nearly crashed into our photographer at the time there, and almost pinned him against the he got out of the way, but it just made it to the rear fence. It's great times.
Yeah,
the ramps at OG 621 Golden have been the demise of many people's vehicles.
Yeah. Well, cars aren't meant for jumping.
Well,
Some are built for that.
I think the best one was the Alfa Romeo by the two twins.
Oil stain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was wasn't that Oil Stain?
Yep.
That was Oil Stain's first. They Sasha was on our Sasha.
Nikita.
Nikita. Yeah, was on our show. Yeah. Sorry, other Russian name. Pick your standard Russian name.
Yeah, they did the gnarly. So we were like, we're gonna push it back a little bit, and we were like, hey, just don't go mad at. But he went first. Or what did he do? Did he do the first, second shift? He got so much speed up.
Yeah.
That as soon as he hit it, we were like, oh.
It's interesting. With most car jumps, you don't actually need to go as fast as you think you need to go.
No,
even those big gap jumps like they do in rallycross and shit. Usually it's you want to go 47. You don't want to be going 70.
Yeah, it's all about how you set it up too. I
Yeah.
mean, there's not a whole lot of science going on that this.
Yeah, the Alpha. It actually doesn't look. The Miata looks worse.
No. But
Yeah,
watch the ground for the fluids.
Now, see the oil?
Yeah, the fluid.
So in the Alfa Romeo, we actually pointed this out in the walk around. 'Cause, the oil, see the oil? So in the Alfa Romeo, we actually pointed this out in the walk around. So in the Alfa Romeo, we actually pointed this out in the walk around. the oil pan is like aluminum. It's like cast aluminum, and it went under and in front of the K member.
Yeah.
What?
Right? Yeah.
So it just sheared the whole thing off.
Well, we were basically like, hey, do you ever have to worry about this, like pulling it into parking spaces? And he's like, oh yeah, all the time.
It turns out those guys did all right because
Yeah.
the stuff they built afterwards was very cool.
It evacuated the oil so fast. I mean, within 10 feet, it's just...
Yeah.
Well,
That is the fastest I've ever seen a car lose.
It's the fastest
all of
oil
its
change.
well,
Yeah.
You got to think cast aluminum oil pan.
Yeah.
Exploded.
Yeah.
Dumped its guts.
Yeah. All right, let's see what's next. We've got Joe says, what is the first car that stopped you in your tracks when you saw it?
That's really hard. Like if we're talking live, like let's narrow it down to something that's on screen, I guess, right? Because I can't really. Actually, no. You know what? When I was in, we all went over to that thing in Riyadh, and I did like 10 days of live shows over there, which was a little bit much. There was one of these wild-looking hypercars that was a lot of angles on it. It looked very aggressive, and I don't know what that. It's like it's not an Apollo.
Lycan?
Maybe.
Apollo
I think it's an.
IE?
I think it's
Apollo
Apollo.
IE?
Yeah.
that looks very crazy.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, what the fuck? It looked like a kid's rendition of like, that's.
Was it like running driving?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then it was probably the Apollo.
Yeah.
There was another one that was a similar looking thing. It's like that.
Yes, that
Yeah.
is it, and it was all carbon fiber.
Yeah,
Very, very
their press
sick.
car. Their
Yeah.
first one. Tangent did some media for them back in the day, and
Yeah.
it was like this thing's driving on a racetrack. What
Yeah.
the hell is this spaceship?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty crazy looking. I like that.
Yeah, that is that's the only thing I can really think of that just I was walking, just like, what the.
Yeah.
I have to go like figure out what that is.
Sure. I was stopped pretty cold in the first time I was ever in the presence of Senna's F1 car at the McLaren Technical Center. It's in the lobby.
Oh, nice.
And I got a weird kind of warmth off of it. That was very, very interesting. Dr. Sourbones says, is there one car in particular that stands out as the best sounding cammed car you've ever heard?
Man, so that's really hard. Chop is also like music, right?
Yeah.
There's different types of awesome chop. I will say that if we're going for like blower surge chop, right? There's a few videos of this car. It was iconic in Maryland at was it like the Ocean City thing that like no longer exists. It's a blown Malibu. It's like a blown big block Malibu Thunder Rally hot rods. And there's a video of him pulling around a course, like, and then he just stands on it. And I posted two different angles of this like years ago, but it like the concussion from the zoomies on it blows out the stoplights, and he does like a 400-meter long burnout. Like it's blocks long. You just hear him like, and it's just melting down, and everybody's losing their fucking minds.
Yeah.
And then he winds up getting, pulled over.
Of course.
But it was like
As possibly, one might argue, is good and righteous. I mean,
legendary street burnout.
Is it the 1980 Malibu they made? Is that what year it is?
I'm sure it's probably this.
565 cubic inch with a big one of those big snorkels on the front of
Yeah,
it.
that is it.
Yeah. Oh wow, look at that. Yeah.
Now, but here's
it sounds like it's doing 1 RPM. Like it's like
That's fantastic.
blower surge, baby. But
That's
like
crazy.
you go to Australia and like all the burnout cars there sound sick.
Yeah.
Like I will say Jake Myers, originally Gary Myers, Sicko's. It's now Sicko is the name of the Mustang. It used to be GM 176 or something like that. Gary Myers is essentially like the Richard Petty of burnouts over there, right? His son now runs that car. It's won basically every big burnout. Like at least it's won a trophy at every big burnout competition around Australia. You know what I mean? Like it's a long-running iconic car. That thing sounds super nasty, and it's just a little 302, but I mean it's savage. I mean they wind that thing out to like 10,500 RPM, and
302s sound good.
Yeah.
I mean I'm a huge fan of a 302. They just sound nice.
if you look up Myers Bros, Myers, but that sounds incredible, right? And then again, there's a billion cars over there that just sound great, right? Everybody's just on methanol, big blowers. Lots of compression.
That's kind of where it's at. There's around here in LA, there's a little Nash Metropolitan that runs a huge engine with a giant cam in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've seen this car?
No, I don't know what a Nash Metropolitan.
Oh,
It's
have you seen the movie
terrifying
Clueless?
small.
Yes.
It's Christian's car from Clueless. It's like the most femme-looking little tiny.
thing.
It's that.
They're really small.
But
Okay.
just add the words like blown, and you'll there it is. That's it. Top left.
Wow.
Flames.
Wow.
I mean, look at that. That's an LA
Sketchy.
car. That car goes to Cars and Coffee in LA like quite a bit.
Nice.
And it fucking torques the whole body and chassis when it runs.
Yeah, I bet. That's
It's nuts.
that's amazing. Okay.
And actually, there's quite a few of them if you look at just even the search results.
I used to see these at Hot August nights a lot. You'd see this
Yeah.
weird, like, tiny car, giant engine.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, it's funky.
Terrifying down the strip.
Yeah, real scary.
Yeah, nothing like a short wheelbase.
Oh, there's the.
Yeah, I actually rode in this car.
And he's gone. Yeah, it's like looks like a 65 or something, 66 Mustang. Yeah, sounds good.
How does one win a burnout contest like this or like Burnout Wars? Like, I've always wondered,
So,
like,
okay,
how
I'll-
is this judged?
Australia has different rules. Like they have very specific rules. Like you can't touch a wall. You got to basically keep it pinned, but you can't hit rev limiter there, right? Like it's very frowned upon to be bouncing rev limiter there. You got to use all of the space. You have to have like instant tire smoke, essentially, right? Like you're judged on wheel speed. How much of the course you're using, your speed through it, and then there's like a number of other things, right? Like, but they want you pin in it, and you have to blow the tires there. So the way we wanted to do Burnout Wars when we started doing it was like we wanted like the cool parts of Australia, but like we wanted people to still be able to like slam into the walls if you're willing to keep going and like keep the show going, like because at the end of the day the crowd goes nuts, right? And we're there to put on a show for the people, right? So we want entertainment value to it, right? So we didn't want to like dock people and like have the it's like, oh, you're gonna like
hitting the wall's okay.
yeah. You're not going to get DQ'd if you hit the wall, right?
Right.
You're still going to get DQ'd if you like blow the engine and spill the guts everywhere, because then it's like it goes into the build quality, right?
Right. And now you got to stop and clean up.
Yeah. So that's like one of the things, like we did our first show, we did it pretty quick, and we didn't have like a really good set of rules, right? And so it was one of these things where we're like, oh shit, like this, we really need to get serious about this. And so we spent right after the very first show, there's 2 days of shows, but after the first one, we're like, fuck, we need to get real serious about this and like actually get some like good rules set. And then after that Orlando show, we all got back to the drawing board and we're like, okay, like how do we actually make this to where it's like judgeable? Because if we're going to offer like 20 grand to the winner or whatever it may be, right? Like the different shows will have like different dollar values, right? We just try to get it to where it's people can make the most amount of money humanly possible, right? Because you're going out there breaking your shit, right? But like we had to get serious about the rule sets, because like some of these cars, we want people to build cooler, like pro level burnout cars here in the States. We want it to be less like a sideshow, right? Because like the sideshow culture is going to fucking ruin all of aftermarket and automotive, right? But if like it's like we can make this like a real thing, and people are building clean cars. Like in Australia, they build fucking show cars basically, and go and send it.
G8 or Holden or whatever that is.
Yeah, that's Mick Hinchy, man.
It's a wagon.
Yeah, it's a wagon.
That's pretty awesome.
So yeah, these gentlemen came out and graced us with their presence. We, on a last minute whim, got asked by Holly if we would come and, kind of like run their burnout pit, if we could like do a Burnout Wars there. It was like 10 days out from the show, right? So we're like, look, we can't like do like a full scale, because there's a lot of thought that has to go into that and like a lot of work. But we'll come and we'll bring some stuff and try to organize as best as possible. And it turned out rad.
Yeah.
The crowd in Texas, fucking losing their minds.
Well,
like,
that's not surprising.
it was. But here's the thing: the crowd in Orlando, I think, was like so hot all day that people were just like, "Oh my god!" So like it wasn't as like pumped as I see people normally, right? Like at SEMA, like it's.
Dude, the
I
SEMA
kind of know
show
what
is so fun.
Yeah, right. So
Holy
like
shit.
me and Corey, like we're out there and we were able to pump everybody up and like get the crowd really interacting with like the drivers, and basically like make it so that the drivers can hear people cheering so much that they're like, I'm gonna do something even stupider,
Right.
and that's what you want. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, Not that we-
Orlando's not the best place to be outside in the sun in concrete all day.
Yes.
That's kind of oppressive.
Yeah, but I mean, it still turned out good. I mean, it was still a few thousand people crowded around.
Sure,
it,
but I'm just saying, from an energy vibe, like
Yeah.
by 4 o'clock, like
Well, it's a wet heat. So it's-
Also, the sound. We realized that like they didn't have like the kind of like sound setup that we normally have, where it's like everywhere, right? So like there was one section of people that were cheering, and I'm like, what's going on over here?
and they just can't hear you.
Just can't hear you. So I have to go like, are you guys having it? Legitimately yelling.
Literally
We have a bullhorn now that I keep as a safety, just as like in the event of that happening,
Yeah, a lot of good uses for a bull.
Fire Marshal Bill it,
Zach, give me the other page, please.
Let's answer some more. Let's get back to the questions.
I got to keep the flow going.
Caller number 3.
Racing for tips. My dad's building a 69 Camaro with Detroit speed suspension, a 740 horsepower big block. Is this thing going to be even remotely drivable at an autocross in first and second gear with a 325 tire?
I think that depends on your right foot.
Yeah, you can. I mean, if with a naturally aspirated engine, like you can use less throttle.
Yeah. I mean, look, you got a big torque. You got a big block, right? It's inevitably going to make a lot of torque, right? So, you can use, you probably just use second gear the whole time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a big, it depends on obviously a lot of other things, right? Like rear gear, how's your transmission gearing set up, right?
Right.
But like, dude, if you have torque, that's your friend.
Yeah, use less throttle.
Yeah.
You'll be able to use less throttle.
Well, I looked up Mary Posey, who is one of like the winningest people in pro touring autocross, and she has a 800 horsepower Camaro. I rode in the thing; it was amazing. But she has a 335 tire.
Yeah.
so it's not that much bigger than what this person is running. And
I've driven
she's able to
Detroit
manage.
speed cars. Like for that low end, you probably don't want a fucking choppy cam. You probably want something that's a little milder. So for like
It's a big block.
2,000 RPM, it's like a little smoother on off for the autocross. But
If you've ever heard my big block, it makes no less than 650 foot-pounds right off idle.
well, that's a lot.
Yeah. That's a big block.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got like a very similar amount of power to mine.
Yeah.
So like they're going to make a ton of torque, right? It's going to move it, right?
Yeah, but you just want to be able to have like power, like smooth delivery without being at 5,000 RPM. Is all I'm saying.
Well, I'm saying like you can run big ass cam in a big block. It's still going to make a lot of power.
Okay.
That's the, displacement is the, the great equalizer of that.
But you can just use less throttle. I
Yeah.
think it'll be fine. Randy says if the new 911 engine doesn't have the belts and all the accessories are electric, does the non-hybrid base model then still need to have the battery from the hybrid to power all those accessories? No, the base model uses the same engine as last year. It just got a little bit more power. The new 911 hybrid does not have a accessory drive belt anymore.
Really?
Yeah, because the accessories are run off the hybrid battery.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all electric motors, right? Is that explain to me how that works?
The new 911 GTS, which is a hybrid, has a 1.9 kilowatt hour battery, which is really small.
Yeah.
That powers a small electric motor inside the gearbox to torque fill between shifts.
Yep.
It also has a single turbo with an electric assist on the turbo to spool it up faster.
Cool.
And then the other thing it does is it frees up power by powering the accessories so the air conditioning and stuff are not running off of a belt.
Oh,
Water pump, all that shit.
Yeah.
So okay, I'll be damned.
Yeah. And then rather than an alternator, that motor in the gearbox sends power both ways. So it doesn't have a traditional alternator.
I'll be damned.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funky.
That's cool.
But
I like the idea of hybrid stuff and torque fill.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Like that's cool to me.
Yeah.
Like
have you ever driven like a performance hybrid, like an
I haven't.
E-Ray Corvette or
No, I've actually.
Yeah.
I might be driving one very soon here.
They're rad.
I'm curious to see how that feels.
Yeah, they're fucking cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that technology works. The Ferrari 296, the McLaren Artura, the E-Ray, like that technology absolutely works.
Nice.
It's really interesting. But yeah, the base Carrera uses basically the same engine as last year. It just makes a little more power because it uses the GTS's turbos, which are a little bigger. So it makes like 10 or 15 more horsepower.
So now the base Carrera is a turbo car.
They've been turbos. All Carreras have been turbos since 2017. 17, right? The 991.2 Carrera is 17. 17.
Please
Whatever.
forgive me. Not a big Porsche guy.
Yeah, the only 911s that aren't turbos now are the GT3s. The rest are all turbos.
I'll be damned. Okay.
Prashant says, Zach, what performance car would you make quieter and more refined?
What? No.
No.
Refusal.
Let the record show he refuses to answer. Gunnar Ray says, favorite Schwarzenegger movie and most underrated Schwarzenegger movie.
Man, favorite Schwarzenegger movie has to be Predator.
Okay.
I have loved that since I was 5 years old. I got my first haircut for kindergarten to be a flat top because of that movie. Probably shouldn't have been watching it. That
I
young,
could
but
picture the flat top on you, though.
Yeah,
It would work.
It would work. I don't know about now, but let's see. And then underrated Schwarzenegger movie. I can't say Twins because Twins was like a number one box
Twins
office
is great,
hit.
and it was a box
Yeah.
office smash.
What was the spy one he did with Jamie Lee Curtis?
True Lies?
True Lies was
That's
also
James Cameron. True Lies
was
rules.
good.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Kindergarten Cop maybe or
That was also pretty
Commando.
solid.
Commando, I would say
Commando.
Commando is actually my answer to both of those questions. I fucking love Commando. I think it's fantastic and it's underrated.
Me and Mike Tornabene had this like thing where it was like it were like great movies to watch. Like we would just try to like it's like hey we're gonna get stoned.
Yeah.
Right. What is a funny like just try to find like wild 80s movies that just had really obscure shit happen. And in Commando there's a handful of just one-liners that just zing out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like when he pulls up and he's like hey what the fuck does he say to her? Like when he's looking down from the truck and then he's like trying to like hit on the girl. And says something.
Oh,
and he's
the
like,
Sully guy?
Oh yeah, and he's like hooker, and then just
Yeah,
drives
yeah.
off, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Dude, there's crazy shit that happens in that movie. And it also had the highest body count of any movie of all time up until, I want to say, what was the next?
Rambo 2.
No, it was way later. It was like until like Saving Private Ryan or something. It was literally like 15 years it had the highest
Really?
body count. Yeah.
I'll be
It's
damned.
like over 100 people are killed on screen in that movie, like individually.
By the way, I love that the bad guy is wearing like a chain like it's like out of shape and just
Yeah,
like
and like the fortress is like on Catalina. Like it's just there's a lot of weird LA shit in that movie
Yeah.
too that I really think is fun.
when they flip the car, he flips it back over, and then
Oh, yeah.
magically it's like the side is completely
Totally
fine.
fine. Yeah, it's like the '70s Porsche. It's like yellow.
Yeah.
I've seen a Sully spec Porsche around. It's very funny.
comparison.
Yeah, the chainmail.
Yes!
Bennett.
Does that look like a menacing evil villain?
That is the '80s version of a fucking bad guy, dude.
Oh my
Got
god.
2 Uzis and chainmail.
Oh my god, me and Corey Hosford have to do this.
Oh, you should. Not a lot of people would understand the joke, but I would.
Oh man, this is great.
All right, we'll save Murray's crossover question for the next show. Flannel Bob says, "What OBS truck is the best, and what cassette tapes are a must to have in the glove box if you are driving one?"
Oh man, you know what? This is good. So if we're talking OBS, I feel like I've heard people use that for now even like newer cars, right? It's like, but when I think OBS, I think of like like 90s era trucks, right? So either like a Ford from like 88 to whatever, and
95. I know
Yeah.
that gen truck is so charming.
yeah, and then obviously the 88 to which would be a 99 Chevrolet trucks. Personally, I'm more of a Chevrolet guy these days.
Boo.
Well, I mean, I used to actually, oddly enough, I used to have a bunch of Fords. I've had a Bronco, I've had an F-150, all from like the 90s, right? Had a Mustang, had an SN95 Cobra for my first car.
Oh, those are the best.
And
They're so great.
it was a good time. It was a little on the slow side.
They were, but there's still a lot of charm.
Yeah, but I would say if you're gonna do OBS, there's just something about an OBS short bed, short cab, like single cab, like the 454 SS, right? And then if you're having cassette tapes, you'd have to have like kind of like a mix up of things. You'd have to have some Waylon Jennings in there. You definitely want to have
Black Album, Metallica Black Album is a must.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be period corrected, the Black Album's probably going to be in there.
Yeah.
My very first cassette tape was AC/DC's Black and Black.
That one counts. Appetite for Destruction.
You know what?
Is mandatory.
In my Bronco, Appetite for Destruction, my freshman year of college, got stuck in the seat as an aftermarket CD player.
Yeah.
Could not, and every time you turn it on, it would just start playing.
Just Welcome to the Jungle every time you turn the car on.
Yes. I got so much shit from it from my friends. I'm like, I'm not really that mad at it because it's a great album.
I still think it's one of the best albums, Walt, like from A to Z. Like there's so many hits on that album.
I don't know if there's ever been a better debut album. I mean, maybe Van Halen's first album.
I was just gonna say, I used to have this debate. What is the better
hairs.
first debut album of that era? Is it, well, obviously Van Halen came out, 78 or 79,
Yeah.
but it's like Van Halen 1, if you want to call it that, self-titled, and then or Appetite.
If we had Christian on here, he would say Van Halen, but I think it's Appetite for Destruction.
I was just too young to care about Van Halen. So by the time I was old enough, like watching MTV, and they'd put Van Halen on, I'd be like, "Who are these? What is this?" No offense to anybody who likes them. I respect them after Christian's show.
Yeah.
But
Van
when I
Halen's
listened to Guns N' Roses, I
amazingly
was like,
talented.
I'm listening to this.
When you
all
say
the time.
Christian,
My friend Christian Hand is a very celebrated radio DJ, and you know him.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of his stuff.
He's the best. Yeah, he's the best, and he's got a new thing happening that's very exciting, and is going to be coming out really soon.
Shout out to Christian. If you don't know, if you watch this podcast, I'm guessing you probably know.
Yeah, he's been on a bunch, and I did during COVID we did a little show together, which was really, really fun.
That's sick.
And he's great, but he's the hardest person to go to a concert with ever because he's so
just overanalyzing everything.
He's not. He doesn't like anything. It's really funny.
It gets like that.
But if he likes it, it's great.
Fuck yeah.
I want to end our show today. I have a little something for my Zach. A little surprise.
What?
And not to upstage you, Zach, but we talked about this in a previous episode. And I found and I sourced.
Did you really?
I was able to find one,
God.
And so we were talking about this. This is the G-Shock manga edition that looks like a comic book drawing, but in real life. It's
I'm not
really
a watch
cool.
person, but we were talking about these, and I was like, "That's really rad," because I read a lot of comics as a kid.
They were sold out, but I was able to find one on
Did you really?
on the eBay.
Holy shit! Thank you, dude.
Isn't that cool? It looks like a comic book in real life.
That's wild.
Yeah,
That's
really
cool.
neat, right?
What?
I thought Zach would find that fun.
I do. I just watched the second Into the Spider-Verse. Like, that movie is amazing if you haven't seen it. But
and I did open it because I wanted to see it when it first came in, and so I didn't want. I wanted you to have a fresh package, obviously, but I cut the tape gently to open it because I just wanted to see it, and it looks amazing in person. And now I'm kind of tempted to find another one for myself.
I'll find one for
It's
you.
pretty cool.
It's really cool, right?
Yeah, I think it's rad, dude.
Zach is a very hardworking individual and deserves gifts from time to time. It does not disappoint from the pictures on the screen compared to real life. Very fun travel accessory.
Yeah.
Zach, thanks for coming in. This was a lot of fun. I appreciate it. Go follow Mr._Zachary on Instagram and Mr. Zachary on YouTube channel. Is there a schedule for Burnout Wars? We have shows on this calendar?
Yes. So the next one is actually next weekend in Atlantic City. Atlantic City truck meet, baby. coming in hard.
That is going to be epically trashy.
Oh yeah, and then we've got another one in Jay, Oklahoma at Mid America Outdoors. I believe
Pull up the schedule. We can throw
Nationals.
it on the screen here.
Yeah, we're actually. It's funny. I was just talking to Corey Hosford on the way here, and we're redoing the website because this was hey, we need to have a website or something. But it's just people that don't make websites just throwing something together so we got something.
I recommend Squarespace. You're an advertiser.
Get at me, Squarespace. No.
Yeah, and when next time you do one on the West Coast, I definitely need to come.
Well, we don't have anything scheduled on the West Coast, but
SEMA.
Keep having more and more requests for it.
Yeah.
And I would like to have something that I don't have to fly 6 hours to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
that would be helpful.
Well, yeah. Matt,
thanks
for
man.
having me
Thanks
on.
for coming. Drive safe. That vet rules. And don't die.
I will try my
Por
best.
favor. Thank you to our patrons for such good questions. We appreciate you. And we'll see you guys next week. Peace the fuck out.